Hi, M3 Carrie. Thank you for joining. Just going to get a few things up and running before we get started here. All right. That's going, and this thing. Okay. So I've got that and that. And this. Oh, I look a little frozen. There we go. MK3 Carrie, where are you from? Hot Springs, Arizona. Nice. And how's everything going? How are your bookings? Oh, Arkansas. You can tell I'm Canadian. I don't have all the two letter abbreviations for the United States memorized like you probably do. Oh my goodness, 3 homes on a mountain. Wow. Do you have any pictures that you can share? Got it. So no bookings yet. So are you going to be open for Christmas? Okay. And horse racing sounds like that's the time to be open. COVID-19 short. Yeah, I've heard. I have a friend. So Carrie says that there are shortages for building materials. I have a friend who works for a lumber company of all things, and yeah, his days are just filled with trying to move inventory around to the people who need it most and take it away from others and what have you. So yes, that shortage is very real. All right, well, let's get started here. Thank you so much for joining me live today. I really do hope that you're all safe and healthy out there. COVID cases, it seems, around the world are skyrocketing, so it's now more important than ever to keep ourselves safe and healthy. Today, we're going to talk about some key trends in the short-term rentals industry and how you can take advantage of them to make the most of this holiday season. Now, MK3 or M3 Carry, I'm going to call you Carrie. Carrie, these trends are likely going to continue into January. So the trends will definitely be helpful for you. The advice, maybe not a little, but you could possibly tweak it to make it work for your situation. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt, an Airbnb superhost and the creator of AirbnbUncovered.com. After hosting about 3,000 guests, actually closer to 3,500 now, and earning over seven figures from my short-term rentals business, I created AirbnbUncovered.com to help other hosts earn more. And I share everything that I've learned after hosting those 3,000 guests. And trust me, there was a lot of learnings there. And initially, during the pandemic, when it first began, it really hit my business quite hard. And so I went right to work trying to figure out what I could do to survive, because as most of you know, I earn all of my living from Airbnb. And so this pandemic really put a damper on things. So I went to work. I've been sharing everything that I've learned over the last 6 months about how to earn a profit, attract more guests, and charge a higher nightly rate. But really, before I could get started doing all that work, I had to take stock of where I was currently. And to help you do the exact same thing, I've created a 5-minute quiz that you can take to see where you stand in your Airbnb business. I'm going to post the link to the quiz in the comments, so just give me a second. Here it is. Copy, paste. And Carrie says that she's got pictures on Instagram, and I will check those out later. Okay, so back to today's topic. So what are the 3 trends in short-term rentals right now, and how can you take advantage of them to get more bookings and earn more over the holiday season? Well, the first trend is booking lead time. The second one is length of stay differences. And the third one is types of guests. Starting with booking lead time, look, gone are the days where bookings are coming in for 30 days or 60 days from now, or even 6 months from now. The research is showing us that guests are waiting, and they're waiting to very close to when they're planning to check in. In fact, 40% of bookings in September were within 7 days of the check-in date. And only 30% of bookings were made within 30 days of the check-in date. And that's not surprising given all the uncertainty in the world. And because that's the cause, this uncertainty, then we're going to expect that this shorter lead time from booking date to check-in is going to continue until we get this global pandemic under control. And so, Carrie, that's what I was talking about. This is one of the key trends that will help you to know what's happening when you open up your places and start welcoming your first guests in January. The next key finding from this industry report from Guesty is that bookings are actually for a longer duration. In fact, they're up 17%, and now the average booking is for 6 days. So that's great news for us, because longer bookings generally means higher profit because there's lower turnover, less cleaning to do, less wear and tear on your unit from guests coming and going. And the final key trend is the types of travelers that we're going to see this holiday season. So here there are 3 dominant types that we're expecting will be booking on Airbnb. The first is large families. So you could have 2 families coming together and they need a larger space for their longer stay. So if they're staying longer, they want to have space for everybody. The second type are travelers who would normally stay with their family. So they're going to travel to be close to loved ones for the holiday season, and they would normally stay with them. But this year, to increase their social distancing, they're looking for accommodation that's nearby where their family lives. And so it could be that they want to stay in the same neighborhood. It could be that they want to stay in your city, but be close to transit so that they can easily visit their loved ones. And the third and final type is our usual type of travelers. So these are guests who have been cooped up inside for the last 6 months. They're going to take advantage of some of the downtime over the holiday season, and they're going to travel probably within a 3-hour drive, because we know that international travel and cross-border travel and all that stuff is really hard right now. And so they'll probably want to just escape their normal life and book something where they can drive to. I'm just going to take a second, see if we have any comments or any questions on those 3 dominant trends. So again, those 3 trends are: 1, the booking lead time, which has shrunken dramatically. 2 is the length of stay, which has increased. And 3, we're seeing really 2 new segments of guests who are booking on Airbnb this holiday season. Okay, I don't think we have any comments just yet, or questions we'll hold until the end, but comments, not seeing any. So let me tell you how you want to put this all together. So one of the things is related to the second trend, which is longer booking stays. So what you want to do is, over the holiday season, you want to go into your Airbnb calendar and create a rule for your minimum number of nights. So I would suggest creating that rule with maybe 3 or 4 nights as your minimum booking, and then go and apply that rule over the holiday season. So I would probably start at maybe December 15th, or the weekend before Christmas, and then hold that rule all the way until January 2nd. The second thing that you want to do is related to the first trend, which is showing that your Airbnb meets the needs of these new and evolving travelers. And so what I recommend you do is that you create a picture, and the easiest way to do that is probably with PowerPoint or Google Slides, and then create the slide and save it as a picture, and then upload it to your Airbnb. Upload it to your Airbnb listing, sorry. And the reason that you want to put it in the pictures is because pictures are the most powerful advertising tool we have on Airbnb. Guests don't tend to read the descriptions as closely, so a picture in this situation is probably going to work best. Let me see if I can share with you the slide that I made that I'm going to post to my listings. Let me see, I just got an error. How would that work? 1 sec, bear with me here, tech troubles. Okay. Later. Okay, so I unfortunately cannot share with you the slide that I made due to some technical errors on my end, but in essence, I'll describe it to you. So what I did was I downloaded a picture of a generic house that was decorated for Christmas. So it's a picture, it's got a Christmas tree on one side, and to the other side, it's got like a fireplace and a table or something. So I left the Christmas tree, I created a box over the table and stuff, and that's where I put in some key bullet points that are really going to appeal, some benefits that will appeal to travelers over the holiday season. So you could put things like extra folding chairs and folding table to host large family dinners. You could say that you have a fully equipped kitchen, that you have decorations available, or perhaps to appeal to those guests who are traveling to be close to family members and aren't actually planning to host anything in your unit. You could say that you're close to transit, or that there's you're very central and that you can get around the city very quickly. Now, one point that I want to make sure that you include is a point that's on everybody's minds right now, and that's about minimizing the spread of COVID. And this is where you can really highlight all of the extra cleaning and sanitization you're doing to keep your guests safe. So I might do a bullet point that it says something like fully cleaned and sanitized between each guest, or enhanced cleaning and sanitization in place to prevent the spread. So something like that to really put your guest's mind at ease about traveling to your home, that you're really looking out for them. And so, in essence, this picture with holidays in the back and the bullet points, what you're doing is you're answering your guests' needs right now. You're showing them that you are the best place for them to spend the holidays. And then by adding that message about cleaning and sanitizing, you're saying that you've got them fully covered, that they can come to your place, enjoy a great holiday season, and leave worries behind. Let me just check my notes. See if I'm missing anything. Oh, yes, important. So when I'm talking about highlighting that your home can accommodate a large group, I just want to be clear that I'm not advocating that you scale up your house. So add a folding table and chairs, or maybe it's a blow up mattress so that you can increase your occupancy, because we don't want to do that. And what you want to do is you want to show to families, larger families, that you can accommodate them. And for sure, you don't want to go over Airbnb's max number of guests in one listing, which is 16. So I'm not talking about scaling up to host large groups. What I'm talking about is highlighting that you can accommodate a couple families. Just gonna check for comments again. Oh, I didn't actually share the link to the. I didn't actually share the link to the quiz where you can find out where you can where you can really assess where you are right now. And understanding where you are right now is of prime importance, because anytime we want to start something new or um, expand and grow, we first need to take stock of where we are at the current time. And so this quiz will take you 5 minutes to figure out where you are, and then you'll get the results. And then from there, you can build on where you are and really focus in on the areas where you're not doing as well. So that concludes the sort of the talk, or the fireside chat, if you will, on those three key trends that are happening right now on Airbnb. And those trends, again, are that the lead time to booking has dramatically reduced. So 40% of bookings right now are happening within 30 days of a check-in. The second trend is that bookings are for a longer period, and it's up actually 17%. And so the average stay right now is 6 days. And the third trend is really three things. And those three things are the three types of travelers that we're going to be seeing this holiday season. The first being families coming together. And these are likely families who are in the same social distancing bubble, who are looking for a larger place to come together and be comfortable. The second type of traveler that we're going to see are travelers who would normally stay with family, but due to social distancing reasons, they're going to stay somewhere separate, and then they're going to travel back and forth between their loved ones and their Airbnb. And the third type of traveler that we're seeing is our regular bread and butter Airbnb traveler. So with that said, I would love to open it up to a few questions. Please bear in mind that there is a tiny lag of maybe 30 seconds to a minute between when you post something in the comments and then when I see it, and then I can answer you. Okay. Definitely at the point now where I can answer any question you have about hosting. It doesn't have to be related to these three trends. It can be anything at all. And I will do my best to answer your question. If I don't know, I'll ask for your email and then I'll do a bit of research and I'll send you an email with the answer to your question. Carrie, I'm going to check out your Instagram. Hot Springs, SHERA. Instagram. Slash Hot Springs. Hot Springs Sherpa. Got it. Found it. Oh, man. Wow. That is going to be incredible. I'm going to follow you too. Oh my God, that view. Wow. If I could easily get to the United States, I would love to stay in your place. Oh, Metallica coffee. Wow. I'm like, nice. Oh my God, those places are going to be unreal. Those views are just incredible. So you are definitely going to be able to accommodate families who are wanting to come together for whatever it is. So I think you're super well positioned with these investments. Oh wow, look at that! Holy! Oh, the designs are fantastic. Oh my God! Carrie is saying that he'll fly me over on a jet. Carrie, you have no idea how much I love aviation. In fact, I'm in my office and I'll show you some of my. I would love to go in a jet. So I have little planes that I collect from time to time. It's really aviation and flying are truly a big interest of mine. Yeah, I know. I'm an aviation geek. But smaller unit at 8 and larger at 10. That's going to be perfect. I something I'll be releasing very soon. I did an interview with Marcus Rader, who is the CEO and founder of Hostaway, and Hostaway is a vacation management software that you can use to manage multiple listings and host and post them on multiple channels. So Airbnb, Verbo, Expedia, and he and I were discussing just briefly about how if business travel dies, which it most likely will, there is going to be a huge surge in vacations by families. And so Carrie, I think you're going to be so well positioned to take advantage of that trend. That's crazy. Oh, you're live on site. Um, I will check that out in a sec. I see that Shanae, or Chen, sorry, has a few questions. I'm going to see if I can answer those. There we go. Chen, in case you missed it, there's like a 30 to 30-second to 1 minute delay between when you type something and when I see it on my end. And then by the time it gets back to you. Oh, Carrie's saying I live on site, not that you're live on site. I thought you were broadcasting. Sorry about that. So Chen says he made a big mistake, he or she made a big mistake when uh, he or she listed his basement unit. Go on, tell us what happened. I bet it's not a. I bet we can fix it. I'm gonna try something different. Oh, he gave a 15% discount on top of the. Okay, that's not terrible. Um, how many bookings did you get? Sorry, so everybody knows what I'm reading. So, Chan says he gave a 15% discount on top of the 20% discount, which. So, for those of you who don't know, when you list an Airbnb, while you're creating the listing, Airbnb is going to prompt you to say, do you want to give 20% off to your first 3 bookings? And if you click yes, then it will enable that promotion. But as Chen found out, it will stack the promotions. So you'll give 20% and then you'll give 15 on top of that. Oh, you got a booking for 22 days. Okay. Um, well, that booking is in. Do you know, Chen, how to remove those promotions? So Chen is saying that he accepted it. I think that's fine. I mean, yes, you have left a little bit on the table, but you've got some nice predictable revenue coming in. You're going to have your first guest. And so ideally that like having your first guest, getting your first review, those are all great for pleasing the algorithm on Airbnb. So your unit should continue to rank high in search. The person has no reviews. Oh, that's okay. I think Airbnb. So I keep forgetting to share with you what Jen is saying. It's okay that the guest has no reviews. I think Airbnb says something like 93% of all first-time guests end up earning 5 stars once they leave. Chen, are you close to, well, it's your basement unit, so I'm assuming that you're going to be upstairs. Yeah, so you can definitely keep an eye on what's going on downstairs. If you don't like what's happening, you can always cancel the reservation while it's in progress. If something is not working for you, of course, that's a last resort. You'll want to work with your guest and talk to them if things aren't going right. But yeah, definitely, don't feel like you're locked in. What would prompt a cancel? So Chen is asking what would prompt a cancellation. I only brought it up because it sounded like you were concerned that you had accepted a guest with no bookings. So I sort of guessed or tried to read your mind and thought that you were maybe concerned that the guest wouldn't be good. Honestly, I've to cancel reservations in progress. I think I've done it once or twice in 3,000 more stays. So chances are you're not going to have anything. But to answer your question, what would prompt a cancellation? That's really for you to decide. If perhaps your guest is being too noisy or they're doing something you don't like and you've asked them to stop and they won't stop. In that case, then yeah, you can involve Airbnb and cancel the reservation. But I really do think that I think things will be just fine. Excuse me. Carrie, do you have a specific question that I might be able to answer for you? Oh, you have tons. Okay, Carrie. Uh, Carrie, I can answer some of them here. If you want to put them in the chat, I will answer both yours and Chen's at the same time. Okay. Carrie says, is it worth hiring someone to help write the listing? I don't think so, to be honest. I don't know much about your background, but I don't think it's necessary. What is necessary, though, and I alluded to it earlier, is that the pictures are definitely going to sell your listing. And so rather than focusing on the write-up, I think you really need to focus on the pictures. So according to some research from Airbnb a few years ago, let me see if I can remember this exactly. So location is obviously, so when a guest is looking to book something, they're obviously looking for location. So they're not going to book a listing that's not where they want to be. And then the next most important factor is pictures. And so if you take out the fact that they're probably searching in the right area, then you get that the number one factor to securing bookings is pictures. And so pictures is definitely where to focus. Description comes, I don't even know if it ended up on that list of factors that will influence a guest decision when booking a place. So yeah, just focus on the pictures. Chan is asking, what else can I do to attract more bookings? Your quiz did not include the option for basements. So two-part question there that I can see. You would, if you are renting the basement and it's self-contained, then you would be what's called a host of an entire home. So even because it's a self-contained apartment, if you can get to the basement through your house and your guest is sharing your kitchen and maybe some other parts of your house, then you have what's called a shared accommodation. The answer to attract more bookings is, there are many things that you can do. The first of which actually follows along with what I was just telling Carrie, is making sure that you have top-notch pictures. And the second thing that you can do is to be constantly going into your calendar every day or every second day, making changes to prices, changes to availability. And what you're trying to do there is show Airbnb, or show the Airbnb algorithm, the search algorithm, that you are being active. Your listing is active, you're actively managing it, and Airbnb will reward you with a higher search ranking. And the search ranking is directly related to the number of bookings you're going to get, because if your listing shows within the first page of search results when a guest searches in your area, then you're going to get way more eyeballs on your listing, and the more eyeballs is the more bookings that you will get. Chen, I do have a guide that I can forward you. That is, so it's called Top Hacks to the Top of Search. I forget its exact name. Let me just see if I can find it here. And so in the guide, I give you, it's 17 hacks. So in the guide, I give you 17 ways to rise in search. And the reason you're rising in search is what I just said about more eyeballs on your listing. So let me see if I can find I want to just give you a direct link, because if I send you to my website, actually, yeah, I'll send you to, it's probably easier for you to get it from the website. Here you go, Chen. This is for you. Chen is asking if I can link it in your video. I can't link it here, but I can show you. There's the link. Carrie wants to know how important the guidebook is to the homes. So the guidebook is important. It's not one of the primary drivers or one of the most important things that you do. I would place it lower on your list. One thing about guidebooks is that you can create one guidebook and then attach it to all of your listings, so you don't have to recreate it. Back when I started, you had to create a new one for every single listing. So I was literally I created one, then I would print it and then recreate another one, and so on and so on. But now you can just create one. The guidebook, I would say, so I don't know how much it gets used by guests, because they just get a link and it's kind of hidden within their reservation. Guests do ask me from time to time what they can do in the city, and I will send them my guidebook. But the main reason I think that I created a guidebook back in the day was that the search algorithm rewards the guidebook. So again, Airbnb is looking for listings that show activity on them, that are fully complete, and that provide guests with everything that they need. So that's really what the guidebook is, kind of checking a box. And then, you want to put a little bit of effort into it, because then you can use it to send to your guests. So when a guest says, what's your favorite restaurant, or what's the best place to go to, you can say, hey, I've got it all in this guidebook. You send them a link to the guidebook and they see everything. It's kind of a time saver. Carrie says, the homes are outside the city limit and do not pull up on Airbnb when searching. Any way to get the homes to show up from just a City of Hot Springs search? The short answer to that is no, because as I understand how Airbnb searches, when someone types in the name, it's going to pull up what's in your city. The side answer, and this gets complicated, so perhaps the thought has crossed your mind, why don't you just change the address to be in the city? Which is a bit sticky, which you can do. Just be wary that changing the address, you can only change the address once on Airbnb. And then once the listing goes live and there's a guest who has stayed in it, you can no longer change the address. The other thing is that you're going to have a constant battle between guests who are thinking that they're staying in that location, and then you're telling them that they're not. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't do that, to be honest. This is actually the first time I've come across this idea. Another thing that comes to mind, again, depends how comfortable you are, is creating a second listing that's in the city, but really directs to your other listings. And there again, the issue will be staying high in search. So there's no point in having a listing that doesn't ever get any bookings, because it's just going to drop in search results. But let me think about that one. I guess the short answer is I'm not sure how to get that listing to pull up when you search for the city. Carrie, do uh, you have two listings right now? I was just on your website, I think. Is that correct? Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's just so I'm just gonna pull up Airbnb and see if how the search works. Hot Springs. Arkansas. Put my dates for February. Search. Um, so, Carrie, I just did a search for Hot Springs, Arkansas, and when I loaded the results, I got a bunch of listings, but I also got like the map zoomed out, and I got a bunch of listings in Hot Springs Village, I think it's called. Yeah, Hot Springs Village. And like, because there's not a lot of density in your area, I think the search results are likely going to expand out and show a bigger area to show so that it can have, a larger number of options for a guest. Um, yeah, that house is on the same. So, just to close off, Gary, I think because of the density of the listings in your area, I think it's going to show a larger spot, and I do think that your homes are going to show when someone searches Hot Springs. Just try it out. One of the hacks that I often use is open an incognito window in your browser or a private browsing session, so that Airbnb doesn't know it's you that's searching. Because if it knows it's you, it's going to show you listings that you've already visited, and chances are you've already visited your own listing. So open an incognito or a private browser, type in Hot Springs, and see how the search results show. I think you're going to get something similar to what I get, which is a zoomed out map that shows a bunch of listings in one spot and a few listings here, there, and all around it. Chen shared his listing. Where did you share your listing, Chen? I don't see it yet. Let me just see if I can find it. Okay. Chen says he's going to share it again. While I'm waiting for Chen to share his link, I'm just going to try. So Carrie tells me that his Instagram will show me pictures of his completed listings, and then I might be able to find them on Airbnb. So Carrie, I am trying to find your listings on Airbnb just using the search, but I can't actually, because I don't see on your Instagram. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't see the completed houses, so it's hard for me to match a picture from Instagram to your listing. Or sorry, yeah, from Instagram to what I'm seeing on the Airbnb search results. $1 No. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, unfortunately, Carrie, I can't match them up. Jen, if you want to send your the link to your listing, I can have a quick look. And Carrie, if you happen to have any other questions, happy to answer those. I'm afraid, Jen, I can't search. Um, I if I type the name of your listing in, it's not going to come up because there's just too many. Oh, for some reason you can't paste the link. I'm gonna send you, Chen, the link to one of my listings, and I think what's happening is there's probably too much in the link. So what you want, if you look, Chen, to send me your listing, when you cut and copy the address from your address bar, you're going to see the address is going to say something like airbnb.ca/rooms/ and then a number, and then it's going to have a question mark, and it's going to say source, impression, all these things. All you have to cut and copy to send to me is airbnb.ca/rooms and then that number. So everything before the question mark to the left. Just waiting to see if Chen's able to send over his a link to his listing. Oh, Chen, you can also email it to me, not at Airbnb. Oops, that's not right. AirbnbUncovered.com. I think we had a couple more people join. Hi and welcome. Please feel free to send me your hosting related question in the comments or in the chat, I should say, on the right hand side, and I'll do my best to answer them. We're about to possibly do a live critique of one of our fellow hosts' listing. He's trying to get it sent over to us. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, no, I can't find your listing easily, Chen. I don't think I can find it at all. Hi and welcome. I think we've got someone else joined us. If you have a Airbnb hosting related question, please feel free to put it in the comments on the right side of the screen, and I will do my best to answer them. Okay, Chen says he emailed it to me. Let's see if I can grab it. Box. Clear. Okay, there's Chen. Got it. Oh, wow, Chen. This is very nice. Oh, you're Canadian too. I love it. You've done a fantastic job on your listing, let me tell you. Oh, I love those rustic pipe shelves in the kitchen. Got it. Chen, your place looks great. Yeah, you've done a good job here. Bathroom is beautiful. You've committed to clean, self check-in, cancellation, 1 bedroom, parking. right. Just looking here, Chen. I have a quick question, Chen. Are you the main host or you are the co-host? Or you're the same? Perhaps it's a husband, wife, or a partner situation. Ah, okay, perfect. Um, I'm not actually seeing anything right off the top. I think you guys have done a very good job. I just want to check and see. Okay, so one thing I notice that will help you is you do not have instant booking enabled, I don't think. Jen is telling me that she's a woman. Thank you, so I can start calling you she. You're right. So my question, I think that will help you right off the bat is, do you have instant booking turned on? Don't know that you do. Oh, you might. Well, you do have it. Okay. Um, oh, yeah. Do you still, so Jen is saying that she removed it after the first booking because it got booked for so low. So you want to turn that back on is one thing for sure. And I'm only seeing that you have one promotion on, so that should clear up. So I'm only seeing the 20% one. So I think you took off the 15% one as well. Another thing you could do, Chen, is two little hacks that I've been using lately that are working quite well. Um, One of the hacks is to do a screen capture of your internet speed and post that as one of the pictures on your listing. The other thing to do is, and I'll get you the link here in a second, is to add some what I'm calling COVID friendly icons to your listing. And I will send you the link for that because I did a video on it. A warm thank you to Carrie for joining us this afternoon. He's got to run, but thank you, Carrie. I hope to see you again on another one of our live Q&As. Let me just get you, Chen, the video with the icons, which will help for sure. I just need to get to the right place to get you a link. Library. Oops, this isn't working. YouTube Studio. Videos. What is that? Oh, there it is. Options, get your link. There you go. That's a video, Chen, that will show you how to add little icons to your listings to show that you're ready to host guests during the pandemic, and it could actually attract. So the idea there is to make your listing picture stand out in search results so that it looks different, and then the icons are big enough that they should be able to see what they say. And the icons say things like enhanced cleaning and sanitizing, new lower rates, relief worker ready, those kinds of things. They're like little stamps, but you can see it in the video. Jen, one other thing I wanted to look at. I'm not seeing, do you have house rules, Jen? No shoes in the suite. No, just no parking. Oh, okay, that's good. You could go a little bit more in depth with your house rules to set the expectation of what you want your guests to do. I found that adding more rules have been helpful because I've seen all kinds of things that the guests have done over the years, and so I do have more detailed house rules. I can send you. Of course, I did a guide on that. So let me get you that link. Let me see where's the best place to get that link. So here's a link to the guide that I did that has the house rules that I recommend for all hosts. There you go. So it's a couple minutes after 2. I want to thank everybody for joining me live this morning. Remember you can always email me with specific questions. My email is matt@airbnbuncovered.com, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. I'll be going live again next week. I think it will be on Thursday, so I will post the details of that. As I mentioned, I'm also going to be publishing a video where I interview the CEO and founder of HostAway. And HostAway is a premier software company that helps property managers manage multiple listings, multiple short-term rentals listings. And I just want to end by reminding you to take my 5-minute quiz if you haven't already. One of the most important first steps towards achieving more bookings, more revenue is figuring out where you stand right now. And that 5-minute quiz will help you to do exactly that. So thank you again for joining me today, and I'll look forward to your emails and also seeing you again next week. Bye, Chen. Thank you.